Good morning, good morning. It is Friday, August the 9th, 2019. Get this straight here. It is the 8th day of the 5th Hebrew month. If you're new to my channel, my name is Daniel Lee. I live here in beautiful Juneau, Alaska, and this is my mission statement. I preach and teach the Hebrew Jewish roots of the Christian faith on my website, spiritandtorah.com. I exalt Jesus, Yahshua the Messiah, the Holy One of Israel. He is the only way, truth, and the life. I expose satanic pedophiles to investigative reporting on my YouTube channel. I provide satanic ritual abuse survivors a platform to speak out on. I protect the innocent children by virtue of these other things. And I lead a nightly Zoom room prayer meeting every single night where we pray for President Trump, this nation, other subscribers. We meet every day, just like they did in the book of Acts in the first century. Wow, such major news coming out. I first want to talk again about Q's 10-day of darkness. He mentioned this way back in December of 2018, and there was sort of a period of 10 days, if you remember, from late December extending into January, leading up to January 2nd, where that executive order went through that allowed military tribunals to apply not just to the military as it normally did, but also could start applying to civilians as well. But I've noticed with Q's posts, there's a lot of different layers and levels. And one thing that really struck out at me is that I noticed that 8chan, the forum where Q posts, it was suspended late Sunday night. Late Sunday night. So if you count 10 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're on day 5, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that 10 days leads right up to Thursday the 15th. And Thursday, August the 15th, not only is that the day I happen to have my campaign for everybody to call in to Ruth Bader Ginsburg, which I'll repost that a day or two before to remind everyone, but it's also the day that Dan Coates is officially leaving. Now he's already been fired, but he's still there until he leaves on the 15th, along with Sue as well. She's leaving as well, and President Trump has already named the acting DNI that's going to be replacing him. The guy's name is, I think, McGuire. But it's interesting, he was an admiral in the Navy, retired in 2010 just as Obama came in, and it looks like Trump really, really likes this guy. So he's already been named as the acting DNI, but again, that official transition with Dan Coates leaving and this new guy coming in, the acting DNI, won't happen until the 15th, which just happens to be 10 days, basically, from when 8chan was removed and kicked off, and so is that the 10 days of darkness? So it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. I just wanted to throw that out there at the beginning of this introduction. U.S. Attorney Shores says, today I announced the results of Operation Independence Day, a 30-day multi-jurisdictional initiative targeting online child predators and sex traffickers. The USAO NDOK indicted 9 defendants, and the Tulsa County District Attorney charged 10. If you prey on our children, we are coming for you. Again, messages being sent to child traffickers, to satanic pedophiles, that under this administration with President Trump, and not just in D.C., but across our nation, like here in Oklahoma, we're coming for you. We are coming for the predators, the child sex traffickers, the satanic pedophiles will no longer be able to get away with what they've been getting away with in this nation. Now, the Nellie Orr, Bruce Orr 302s were released. Storm is Upon Us tweeted this out. He said, huge, we are approaching disclosure that the dossier wasn't even written by Steele. He was merely the official explanation. Not only did the rotten Obama administration use the fake dossier to knowingly defraud the FISA court to get Trump, they created it. Wow, so this was just released yesterday, and in fact also, boom, the pretext for spying on Trump was a dossier the FBI knew was inadequate at best, but pursued the warrants anyway. Also, Orr testified his seniors were passionate and desperate that Trump should not win. We have treason, folks, and we're just getting warmed up. So all of that was released yesterday. Now, today, 2,000 Epstein documents released, naming names, working our way up the pyramid. Now just need the other 999,998. So Stormers Upon Us is referring to Adam Classfield, who posted, breaking, the second court issues its mandate to unseal a large tranche of Jeffrey Epstein related documents as an old docket becomes public for the first time. Developing and will provide details and documents as they emerge. And I'll put Adam Classfield's Twitter feed there so you guys can follow that as this unfolds. Now, this is actually the background of this. This was actually issued by the second court back on July 3rd of 2019. So, but a good month and a half ago. But it's just now being unsealed. It's just now the mandate's now finally being fulfilled. So, really need to keep our eyes on this because the details are about to really come out on the Epstein case. And maybe again, this is why the deep state has been so furious in trying to distract the American population because of now what's being unleashed. Now, I want to switch topics a little bit and again go back to my Dayton, Ohio Children's Hospitals thing because I've gotten even more information as I've been digging, as I've been hearing from other subscribers that live in the Dayton area. This guy, again, he doesn't want me to use his name, but he said, the owner of the company that I work for is a hardcore Obama liberal and all hell would break loose. I've also sent many of your videos to guys at work, so please keep my identity confidential. I don't want anything to happen. I live here in Dayton, Ohio, and I deliver lumber to children's hospitals all the time. They built a new tower onto the main hospital. I believe it is 8 stories tall. My niece was unfortunately a patient there last year, and the first time she was there, they didn't even want to do anything to help her out. It was as if they wanted her to get worse. After my brother went off and destroyed the doctor and a few nurses, they ended up admitting her and kept her for 4 days. While I was there, I asked the nurse how she liked the new tower, and she said she liked it, but all the beds were full on the first day it was open, and she hoped they built another tower because it was starting to get very crowded. Earlier this year, they built a new building right down the street, and they bought a huge building next door from where I work, and they claim it to be their IT department to the Dayton Area Children's Hospital. I've also driven past the Cincinnati Children's on I-75 many times over the last 3 years, and have also expanded the size of their hospital and are still working on it. Also, you might want to look into the Dr. Atik Durrani from Cincinnati Children's. He was being investigated for performing surgeries that were unnecessary and deforming, hurting, and killing children. They said he would stop in the middle of a surgery to go to the next room and have sex with a nurse and then come back and finish the children's surgery. He is currently on the run in Pakistan. They said his brother is a high-ranking Pakistani government worker that had him smuggled out through the Texas-Mexico border. So, that is very interesting. I'm going to have to do some more digging on this Dr. Atik Durrani that was literally working in the children's hospitals in Cincinnati. Then I got this information. Again, he doesn't want me to use his name, but he said, after watching your latest YouTube video about tunnels underneath Dayton, Ohio, I felt led to share what I'd seen and heard while working just south of Dayton at the General Motors truck and bus assembly plant in Moraine, Ohio. While working there from 1996 until it permanently closed in 2008, I worked in 2 different buildings that were separated by Ohio SR 741 that traveled north and south. For employees to be able to get back and forth from building to building, there was a large tunnel underneath SR 741. This tunnel wasn't suspicious, but within this tunnel was a tunnel on the north side toward Dayton, leading as far as the eye could see. It was only wide enough for maybe 2 people to walk side by side and 5.5 foot tall. I'd asked my dad, who had worked there for many years, what the purpose of this tunnel was for and where it led. He said that there were many tunnels throughout the many General Motors plants in the Dayton area, including downtown. He was told they connected the different GM plants. At the time, it sounded reasonable to me, but not now. Please understand, I'm not saying I have seen or heard anything about child trafficking, nor am I accusing General Motors, but I don't believe these tunnels just connected GM plants. The building I worked in had a train rail system that delivered parts from Mexico and all over the United States that sat directly above the tunnel. Could my plant have been a drop-off for child trafficking? When the plant closed in 2008, it sat idle for a few years until Fuyao, a Chinese auto glass manufacturer, occupied the space. Have you heard if the Chinese are involved with child trafficking? Yes, Chinese are definitely involved in child sex trafficking. Anyway, I'm sorry for this email being long, but I thought it might tie into the Dayton underground system. What better cover to use a large automotive company and its resources? Well, so this is very interesting. I'm going to have to do more digging on this as well, but definitely something that is a lead that I wanted to share with everyone. Another lady, her name is Lisa. I don't want to give her last name, but she said, She said, FYI, many hospitals are designed by Satanists with private corridors around the perimeters to transport people without any accountability, transparency, and traceability. They hire Satanists to run departments, especially the psych units. They're used for handlers, programmers, and reinforcement. For example, back in the day, a lot of electrocution and drugs to shatter victims so they would not have memories and talk. And we remember how that was being done back in the 50s and 60s and farther back. And then I got these interesting emails. Again, she didn't give me permission to use her name, so I'm just going to say her first name, Elisa. She said, hey Danielle, a few months back there was a tweet from someone about a small airplane crash in New York, I believe. I noticed another tweet after that, a copy of what looked like an email to Hillary Rodham Clinton. The message was odd. It said something about Rady, R-A-D-Y. So I researched Rady and Hillary Rodham Clinton Foundation and the Clinton Foundation. Bingo. Rady is a children's hospital in California, San Diego to be specific. And from what I remember, they provide services to the poor Hispanic children in the area. I didn't look any further because I had forgotten about it, but I imagine this is bigger than big. This is a nationwide epidemic. I believe these hospitals and the Clintons, along with their Clinton Foundation, with the satanic pedophiles, are connected into many of these children's hospitals. Remember the doctor from Cedars-Sinai wreck, which I'll have to look into that. Oh, okay, she said, remember the doctor that was arrested in California? I think we need to look closely at all the hospitals these people are connected to, the Clinton Foundation especially. You're definitely onto something. And of course, all the Hollywood stars that are linked to charities and children's hospitals. So anyway, I'm putting all this information out just because obviously I need to do some more digging and more research, but there's something here. There's definitely something here. There's a lot of interconnected things that are revealing this spider web that's involving, I'm not saying every single children's hospital, but there's too much. There's just too much information. I'm getting too many subscribers contacting me that have actually worked in or around these hospitals that are bringing up stuff that needs to be dug into. And you know, people pointed out, why did President Trump say Toledo when he was talking about the massacre in Dayton? Did he want us to start looking at this? And one of the things I mentioned in yesterday's story pertained to Toledo as well. All right, if you like what I'm doing, if you appreciate what I'm doing, if you think I'm working hard and I deserve to be paid, this is my full-time career, which I love doing. So if you want to help me out, the easiest way is my PayPal. That is a link right below this video. You don't have to be a PayPal user to use it. You can use it as a guest. I also have the Patreon link. The way that works, you click on my Patreon, you can pledge any monthly amount you'd like, and then that amount is taken out of your bank account at the beginning of each month. If you're old school, you don't want to use the internet, I also have a P.O. box that's also below this video, and you can send donations by letter. I do send thank yous to all my internet donations as I get to them. I get very backed up, but I do eventually send them out. However, if you send a letter, I'm no longer responding to letters just because it was taking way too much time for me to respond to every letter. But if you enclose your email in a letter that you send by snail mail, I'll definitely respond and thank you. Thank you again for all my supporters, all those who are donating. Also, even if you can't donate but you're praying for me, thank you so much. I deeply appreciate the prayers. And speaking of which, if you need prayer, again, I lead a team. We meet every single night. And so if you want us to pray for you, my email is also below this video. Again, to unfold that description box, you got to hit the little down arrow, the show more, or I think there's like an upside down triangle if you have a handheld device. So there's many other ways that YouTube has. But just scroll down, you'll see my email. Email me your prayer request. I'll get it to our prayer team and we will pray for you. In fact, our list has just gotten over 900. If I don't hear from you within 30 days, I do wind up removing it. So make sure you update me and keep me posted. But yeah, we've gone through it now through over 900 different situations since I started this nightly prayer meeting. And it's an honor. It's a privilege to be able to pray for you guys and to lift you up. And especially when I get to report on when Yah actually answers these prayers and we see Him working in your lives. It's so awesome. All right, well, Yah bless you guys. It is preparation day, so tonight begins the Sabbath. I put aside all this stuff. I'll have my lighting of the menorah later this evening to open Shabbat, my Sabbath hike tomorrow. Yah bless you guys. This has been an incredible week. Shalom, shalom.